Cool. So, hi everyone. Welcome to Position Yourself Online for Hazel Moore, Cash FX or Hazel Moore Online. So, my name's Amanda and I'm a huge fan of working online. A little bit about me. I'm obviously from Australia and I live now in Mallorca. So, in Australia, I was a trauma nurse and for 15 years have had an extreme medicine business where I teach people how to do medicine in places like Antarctica and Kilimanjaro. I prepare teams for like the Volvo Ocean Race, for racing around the world, and I work with the America's Cup and things like that. And then I'm a trauma nurse, and when I moved to Spain with my husband 10 years ago, I arrived here as an illegal immigrant. I couldn't nurse, and it was my whole life. I could fly in and out to do my extreme medicine, but I wanted to be with him. And so I started learning how to get my programs online, and I had no marketing budget. So I started teaching myself how to work online, and I was working for a company at the time. The more I got into it, the more I got into personal branding. And I just really fell in love with it. A few blogs and I had accidental success actually. I started blogging quite a few years ago when I was sailing around the world, and I sold a couple of blogs. As I was in extreme and coming from a medical field, I did a couple of YouTubes that, like, one had 47,000 hits in the first hour. And I started looking at why and how I'd had this accidental success, which probably wouldn't happen these days. I wish I'd done something with that success at the time. So that's a little bit about where I started. When I met Hazel, I was a hot mess. I was straight out of the emergency department. I had post-traumatic stress, and I met her in a trauma course, and I became one of her clients. And when I first got into Bitcoin, it was with her about 5 years ago, and I got really interested in that too. So I'm very fond of Hazel. She's done so much for me, which is why I wanted to really contribute to this tribe. And I have sat back and sort of sat on the sidelines for a while watching Cash FX just to see what would happen, because I made some really bad decisions in Bitcoin many years ago. And well, not bad, they were actually good. I wouldn't change a thing. And then when I saw the success Cash FX was having, I was thinking, this is amazing. And I jumped in, and here I am. I bought something, I forgot about it, I went back and checked it, it had doubled in money. I'd never had that experience with money before. And so because I'm so happy to be in this space, I wanted to share my zone of genius with you guys, which is something I'm going to talk about today, of how to position yourself as a leader in your field. Because everyone has something that they can give and that they can weave into their brand to position you as an expert and really lead and become an extraordinary leader with your teams using social media. So we're so lucky these days having such an incredible, or a number of incredible platforms to use. So that's a little bit about me. What we're going to talk about today, people just write in the chat what social media they use and where they put it. So I'm sort of thinking, because I've met you guys on Facebook, we'll talk about Facebook, but is everyone intending on using Facebook? Or so Finn's Facebook and LinkedIn, Jan's Facebook. Yeah, because if you guys are on like Instagram or TikTok, maybe we should all make a TikTok dance and become TikTok famous. Then we'll talk about that. But I'm going to talk about this too, how to choose your platform. Facebook and Instagram. Have Twitter, but don't really understand it. Beautiful. And Yvonne's not a huge fan of LinkedIn. So we're going to talk around Facebook, but keep in mind that you can apply this to anything. Okay. So the first thing is that it doesn't matter where you're at in the process. You can start owning it and positioning yourself as an expert straight away, right? And Some people really want to just throw their flyers around everywhere possible. I'm not, and go into other groups, and I'm not a huge fan of that. I'm a huge fan of building a tribe, building a group, building a movement, and giving. And asking how you can serve. And so, where you get to position yourself online is by taking ownership of the strengths you've got and how you can really like weave in your past experience to position yourself as an expert and be able to have something to give. So we're going to go through a couple of exercises in the next hour that'll be super simple and super quick that are going to help you understand your own personal brand. Because the reason I love having a personal brand is that you're always going to have it. Maybe you'll get through this and want to become a coach, or you want to get more into media and marketing, or you start your own project or your own charity even once you've made lots of money with Cash FX. Whatever it is you're going to do, what you want to do is really take ownership of that. So I want you to think about, like, where have you got success? What have been some of your best achievements? Write down 3 of your best achievements. So they could be leading groups and teams. So what I realized is I was really good leading teams in resus and emergency and ambulances and helicopter rescue teams. And now I'm just doing it online. I'm still leading teams, right? And that's what I want to teach you today. So have you got experience in marketing or writing? How can you position yourself as an expert? What are some of the virtues you have that you can take ownership of? Have you been in leadership positions before? Cool. Now I want you to just put that there and think about it, and we'll come back to that. I also want you to think about, who do you want to work with? Because when you're building a team, you'll spend more time with your team than your partners or your children or your best friends. So who are your niche? Who are the people you want to hang out with? Like, so when you look at the sort of people Hazel attracts, you can see something. Everyone's really cool and intelligent and mature, and you can, it's not a hypey scene. Everyone's really down to earth, really grounded, and really, really cool. So what are the sort of people you want to hang out with? Like, so for me, I love, entrepreneurs. Most of the people I work with have had something to do with health or coaching. And pretty much because of what I love to do when I'm not online, I'm a pro sailor. So I get paid professionally to sail on amazing boats all over the world. Well, I did until the 1st of March this year, which is why now I'm even more online. So this is, I created this sort of work so I could follow my husband around the world and go and continue to compete myself. Love kite surfing. The minute I finish this session, it's blowing 40 knots. I'm going kiting. So I want to work with people that get this, and I'm always thinking of the future, so I want my tribe to meet in Bali and surf our brains out and go for an epic sail, and then have brain sex talking about social media algorithms and artificial intelligence and marketing. So who lights you up? I'm going to give you 5 seconds, and I'm going to be quiet to just write down 3 people that have been your clients or you'd love to have on your team, or that are on Hazel's team that you really admire. So you get a feel for the sort of person you want to hang out with. Who do you want to build your team with? Cool. So I want you to, as homework, I want you to feel into these people that you'd like to have on your team, your niche, your soul tribe, I call them. And I want you to think about, what do they like? What would appeal to them? What colors? What language? Language is so important. It's something, you know, really use. So, like, I swear a lot, you know, and maybe it's not that cool, but I actually attract people into my line of work and my teams with the odd fuck this. I'm sorry, but I'm an Australian, a nurse, and I swear. And it's become a little bit of a part of my brand. Maybe it's unnecessary, and as I mature, that will stop. But at the moment, people like it. Like they say, "Oh, I love the way you're so real and so raw." Whereas Hazel, you would never hear her say that, you know. So, what kind of language? Language is so important. Another thing is like I'm in the coaching space. So I'm just starting to build my Cash FX team, which I'm really excited about. And I actually want everyone I coach to be a member of this. But right now I teach people how to be coaches. I certify them. I teach groups of coaches how to use social media. And so coaches use words like courage, and you know, whereas corporate, when I used to work in corporate, if I was doing a corporate training, I'd talk about confidence. So these little things, these little words can make a huge difference when you're writing to your perfect client. So I want you to feel into this too, because you want to wake up and say to yourself every day, how can I serve? How can I serve my soul tribe? And even if you don't have any members on your team, you start showing up as if you've got 100 and thinking, what do they need? What do they want to see? What are their main problems? So now I want you to write down, thinking about your tribe. And if you don't have one, look around the people in the room here. Please put your cameras on if you're not driving, because it's really nice to see people's faces. And I want you to look around the room, if you know the people in the room, or think about the people that you really want to work with, and write down 3 problems that they have. Is it how to position themselves online? Is it confidence to do Facebook Lives? Is it clarity on how to sell the Cash FX product? Which actually I think needs no clarity, because it's the biggest no-brainer I've ever experienced. Buy $300 packs, see it double and go, wow, the bank didn't do that, but that's my story. Great. So now we've thought about where our personal strengths are, who the people we want to serve are, what they like, and what the 3 problems they have are. So for homework, I want you to write a love letter to your ideal client or / team member, telling them about this opportunity and addressing the problems they have. Maybe they are like I was for so many years, just so busy. I was just this do. I was trying to do. So then I could have the big house, and then I thought I'd be happy. Once I had the big house and the horse and the boat and the 2.5 kids and the white picket fence. You know, and then one day I realized that what if I just acted like I was already had it all, and then I could just be happy and then come from this place of being happy and do my actions from there. So what do your clients want to hear about? Write them a love letter, and then take out the Dear Finn, for example, and there could be an amazing post. Another thing you could do is think about what misconceptions do they have? What misconceptions do they have to joining you at Cash FX? Have you spoken to them and they've said, oh, is this a scam? Or, or I was in USI technology, or one of those money coin things that didn't work 5 years ago, and this is another scam. Or what are the 3 main misconceptions around Cash FX that you come across when speaking to your clients? And so you want to write them down. And then you can start writing posts, or even when you're in a chat sequence when these people, if you've already got an idea of those misconceptions. So what are the top ones? It's a scam. Can you get your money back? And it's too good to be true. You know, so if you've already written content addressing those misconceptions, then you're already ahead of the 8 ball. And what we're talking about here is you're positioning yourself online to not the whole world, to a certain amount of people that are going to see you and be like, oh my God, did Kim just write that post for me? I was just thinking that, right? And what you can also do if you're really clever is if you're in a chat sequence on Messenger or however you communicate with people, always write down their problems, the words they use when they're speaking, and their misconceptions. Write it all down in a book. This is my book of misconceptions and problems, and I throw it back at them. So one of my dear friends and team members, and a man I absolutely adore, is on the call today. Him and I have been working together. Can I just be really honest about our relationship, Finn, before I... Yeah. So Finn and I were in a conversation about him doing some coaching with me a year ago, and I'm so excited he's part of Cash FX and on this call, right? And he wrote to me saying, this, you know, dear Amanda, like, I love you, I love your style, I love your swearing, I love the fact you sail, I love your content, but I've invested so much in so many things before and I've never had a return on investment, and I'm working my ass off, and, you know, and I really love what I do, but is this going to be basically another coaching program that I think's great, but then I end and I'm no further ahead than I was before? And so what I did was I took out the Dear Amanda and put a few of my words in there and turned it into this amazing content. And then Finn read it and joined the next day, and here he is in Cash FX. Because I didn't just, you know, use that like in a malicious way or anything like that. I was like, Finn had written me the best content about my coaching business ever. And not only that, he is like the example of my perfect client, right? And so, you know, I love working with coaches and I love working with people with really positive visions. And this man has a vision that's just, I'm so enrolled in, right? And this is another thing, you want to enroll people in your visions, which is why you want to find people that get you and like you and know you and trust you. And so when I looked at this list of misconceptions for Finn, they represented everyone I knew. And I made it my mission to make sure that every single person that comes and works with me gets a return on investment. And then I thought, well, actually, the best way I can guarantee that is actually get them in Cash FX. So I'll get my coaching clients to come into Cash FX, because then I can say 99.9% chance of a return on investment, unless, like, I don't know, Cash FX completely blows up and disappears, which is pretty much impossible. Every single one of my team members will get that return on investment and more. So what I'm saying is get to know your misconceptions and get to know the tribe. You don't want to be liked by everyone. You actually want to polarize some people. So the next thing is you do need emotional resilience in this game. And the sooner you can get on top of that, working online, the better. Because people aren't going to like your post. People are going to say it's a scam. People that you went to school with that you're probably really worried about what they're going to think of you, even though you haven't seen them for 35 years, are probably holding you back. For me, I want you guys to do this for homework too. Write down a list of all the people you're hiding from, because I bet they're no one you send a Christmas card to. I bet you haven't seen those people in 35 years. I bet it was the bully from, you know, the playground in grade 8, that you're still scared that you're going to show up online and they're going to see your post and judge you. Because that's what was happening with me. And as soon as you realise that, the better. You're like, really? I'm hiding from Kate Seiss that bullied me in grade 5? and I'm really worried about what she thinks, and it suddenly gets really light. And when people do get a little negative, that's great, because you know, you've got to have some haters to have lovers. And if you're going to be successful, it's going to happen. I'm sure even Hazel has had a few people say to her, it's a scam, or who do you think you are? Or, you know, one thing people don't like, if you've come from the spiritual space or the coaching space or the corporate space, people don't like change. So when you've been representing, like, you know, say spirituality, and then you go into something like Cash FX, some people, you know, get funny about it. So once again, if you've got the answers to those misconceptions, you can help enroll people in that vision, you know? So for example, like Hazel's answer to those misconceptions is she was like, I love being a spiritual advisor, but I want to work on a bigger level, and I want to help the whole world get more wealth, you know? So then she's enrolling people into that vision, and she speaks about her vision. So I want you to think about now the vision, and then what is your vision? What do you want to do with these money? Because you don't want to make $1 million and just roll around in the cash. Actually, I wouldn't mind that experience personally, but you're not going to just do it every single day. You know, what do you want to feel? How do you want to contribute? Who do you want to serve? What's your bigger vision? And then when you're there, what's your next big vision? Because when you get into that frequency and that feeling, and you remind yourself of this vision and why you're really doing this, and why you're going, you know, you're doing your 9 to 5, and then at 9 o'clock at night when all your friends are eating pizza and watching TV, you're doing posts, you're writing content, you're messaging people about this amazing conversation, you know, an opportunity. You want to be in that zone. You want to be like coming from here, because when people see posts, they see that they feel an energy, they feel a frequency. So you want to be really grounded in that vision, and you want to be really authentic and honest. Because another thing is, you can tell when people aren't being honest, and that's what I really like about Cash FX. I don't see people making false claims. There's a lot of people in network marketing saying, I do 10K months, and you know for a fact they're living on cans of tuna at the moment, you know, or they're saying that they've made like $6,000 worth of sales, but they didn't actually get that as a profit. So be really authentic. Okay, so now we've talked about the frequency and the belief in our vision and that energy we want to show up from. We've talked about the niche and the people we want to serve. We've talked about the understanding their misconceptions and their main problems, and how to write posts to them. Now let's talk about, with that in mind, how we want to really position ourselves online as an expert. So first of all, I want you to look at your profiles. You know, make sure there's a picture of a face. You know, the most close to being a professional photo you can have. Because people I won't even accept someone with a cat picture. Or even, I love cats, I've got 2, nothing against cats. Cat pictures, logos, Bitcoin symbols, all those things. I want to see someone's face. Even if it's one of you guys, or, you know, someone I know well, if they don't show me their face when they send me a friend request, then I'm not going to answer it. So make sure it's a good photo of your face, and make sure you're in that vibe. Make sure you're not going, I hate having my photo taken. Be like, the vision, I'm going to feed the starving. I'm going to like sort out, you know, tribes of, you know, Africans with this amazing opportunity, and have that feeling of power when you have that photo taken. And it can just be a selfie. Selfies convert really well on social media, actually. We're going to talk about that too, and what they want to see. Then your banner. Have a really nice banner, you know, and think about your niche and the people you want to serve, and what are they going to like? you know. So I could have a sailing boat on my banner because pretty much most people that are attracted to me love the ocean. Or I could have me on top of a mountain because I attract kind of wild people. You could have a picture of you sitting there with your laptop. And then you want to, you know, even have a catchphrase, and you want to be clear rather than clever. So you want to say what it does on the tin. So you want to have on your banner something like make money online, or position yourself online, or something like that. You may get more, you could put a question mark there because we're going to get more into that. You might get some better ideas in the next half an hour or so as we go on to other tactics you can use. So you want a really good photo and you want a really cool banner, and you can make your own on Canva in 5 minutes. Just try and keep it looking simple, clean and professional. And send it even to 3 people that would fit your niche. And we could even, you know, set up a little group and share and critique each other. I'm all about positive criticism. I love it. So send your banner to 3 people that you know, like and trust, that understand what you're doing and that would be your perfect customer, and be like, hey Yvonne, what do you think of this banner? Would you buy me? Does this do it for you? Hey Finn, what do you think of this banner? Does this explain me? Does it look professional? Because people are really dumb, especially on social media. No offense, guys, but the minute we are anyway these days, and we've got a 6-second brain span. We've got less than a goldfish. So you want to grab them, otherwise they'll scroll on. So you want them to be like, oh wow, that looks cool, interesting. So cool photo, cool banner, and then you want to have a funky little bio. You've got less than 100 characters. Please don't lose sleep over it. Let's have a go. I love creating bios because it's so weird. Once you know your niche and you know the feeling you want of hanging out with a niche, and you understand their problems and how you could really serve them and enroll them in your vision, and then you've got your bio, you're pretty much halfway there. Seriously, I coach people for months in my inner circle on how to get there. And I've lost sleep over my bio, which is ridiculous. So let's all do one right now. So I want you to write with me, I help ... So entrepreneurs, coaches, people, women, sailors, runners, investors, or you could just say people. Get, and what do you help people get or find? Financial freedom, a new business, quit the 9 to 5, work online, make 6 figures. That's pretty easy to do in Cash FX. Congratulations, Kim. I've seen you nailing it this week. So yeah, what do you help people get? Keep it really simple because you've only got 100 characters, and we want to be clear. Why do we all love working with Hazel? Every person I send the video to of me interviewing Hazel, they're like, she's so grounded, she's so clear. So people want to buy your clarity. So they want to, one thing I found for years working online is people would be like, yeah, but Amanda, I don't really understand what you do. Because to be honest, I bloody didn't. So I couldn't expect them to. So let's be really clear. I help ... get ... The end. It could even be, I help people just like you position themselves online to get 6 figures. I help people just like you learn about Forex and quit the 9 to 5. Does anyone want to share what they've written down? Just unmute yourself and yell out. Let's have some fun.
I'll go.
Yay.
I help soul-led entrepreneurs get financial freedom online.
Who are you? What have you done with Finn? That's very crystal clear.
It just came to me. So
that's amazing.
That's the quickest it's ever come to me, Amanda.
That's so good. Because Finn and I know each other really well, so we were playing around with this the other day, and he was helping soul-led, adventure-seeking, beautiful, wonderful, incredible, amazing, heart-led entrepreneurs find, and we're very similar like that. So yeah, beautiful. Boom. Who's next?
I help normal people attain financial abundance and freedom.
Hell yeah, I love it. Crystal clear. Did you already have that on there, or did you just write that now?
I just wrote it.
Boom, love it. Awesome. Anyone else?
Yep. I just came up with, I help women find financial freedom and security for their future.
Oh, that's juicy. That's so good. I love it.
And I help people quit the rat race and become financially free.
Yeah. Oh, I think a few of us might be stealing this. So see how easy this gets to become, and see how you can watch like the recording of this one more time and stand up and be a leader for your teams and do exactly this. Because I think for me, like, clarity is the best currency in the world. And the biggest, I've done a few network marketing things before, from offline to online, from teams of 3 people to 3,000. And the biggest thing that holds people back is getting stuck in all this stuff. And we just want to make it step 1, step 2, step 3. Here, let's get a photo of you. Great, that looks fab. Let's make your banner. Done. And another thing I would say to your teams is, do you commit to just keeping this for 3 months? This is great, because what happens is we suddenly wake up at 4 a.m. and go, oh my God, I want my bio to say this. And, oh, I think my banner. And what happens is we start self-sabotaging and trying to keep ourselves small, or repeating these basic things without moving on. Because a lot of the time people want to fuss over this and make it perfect, and then they want to start setting up their perfect funnel. I've been working with a guy in another network marketing business that I'm not even doing anymore, but I'm still coaching him, and he's still doing this stuff, and we've got to take them by the hand and go, boom, boom, boom. Right, you sorted. Let's get into attracting your soul tribe, attracting your perfect team. So the next thing we want to look at is, let's look at that experience you've got. So we want to make it quite classy and relevant. So before I go into this too much, are you guys all putting people in the Hazel Moore online group, which is amazing and fab? Or have you got your own free groups that you add people to? Or would you like to stand up as a leader and have your own groups? Or are you just happy duplicating and using Hazel's group? Just shout it out or put it in the comments.
It's Maggie. I haven't started building a team yet, and that's one of my questions was, I love Hazel's group. So do you just send them there, or do you start your own? I was a bit like, do I reinvent the wheel?
Yeah, exactly. I wouldn't to start with. I haven't with my Cash FX. I may as we go on, because I like thinking down the future, but I'll always put them in Hazel's group first, and then both. Who else? Well, Kim, what do you do?
I started off with Hazel's group.
Yeah.
And then as I went on, I got my own group.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, Hazel's always posting, so I do put a lot of stuff that she's posted into mine. I'm trying to, I put my own posts as well, but I'm trying to find my own little way of doing things, and probably just trying to my own way of helping my team, and I'm slowly getting. I feel as though I'm getting there, and I feel as though I'm evolving into that role of leader that I've always been a little bit reluctant to take, quite frankly. So it's just direction. So this is really helping me to sort of figure that out, and how I can differentiate my own groups, my own Facebook group.
Amazing.
Really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I would suggest is that you put them in Hazel's first until you have 10 in a team.
No, I do that, and then I've got about 140 in my own group now. I put them in Hazel's as well.
Yeah.
Because I mean, she's always got so much information. It's fantastic, as we know. She always helps.
It's brilliant, exactly. And you want people to feel that energy, because I know
exactly.
that helps them. So
I'm also aware of the fact that Hazel's got a lot on, so we do need to take responsibility for our own teams, and so that's what I try and do. And I try, I get the stuff from Justin, whatever I find relevant. I then put into mine as a training, but it's just focusing on which sort of direction I really want to go as far as helping my team,
Absolutely. So what I recommend you guys do is think about, moving forward as leaders, using Hazel's group to start with, but it is really good to have a free group that you send potential people to, that you can take the information from Hazel's team and your quotes and everything, and we'll talk about a content calendar that'll keep things really simple that you can use as well quickly. But what you can do is have people love being invited somewhere, because people need to be touched by you about 6 times to even take what you're doing seriously, and people miss things. So what's really good is to have your own group, and to start with, you don't even have to put people in there. So how I started this whole business, I had my own group, and it was a secret group just for me, and I went in there every day and did a live. I went in there every day and did a post, and I invited no one. And then when I was slowly ready to start inviting people in, I was also confident. So I was showing up for myself, doing trainings like this to no one. But I made a point, I was like, every Thursday, I'm going to do a free training. No one would ever come. Actually, sometimes I wouldn't even invite people, but I showed up, right? I showed up like a leader. So what I recommend you do is play around with that to get confidence, and start doing, some lives. If you don't want to do lives, just do your own posts. If you don't want to make them public, start them in a little group first. But as soon as you can get your own group to step up it as a leader, and a free group, people love it. And social media rewards it, because it's all about being social. So you don't want to be on social media going, sell, 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 sell. We answer misconceptions, we give free trainings, and we give loads of value. And then we get into chat sequences and talk to people about the opportunity in our conversations. Because you don't want to be just like sell, 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 sell all the time. You want people to be like, oh my God, that's so interesting. Wow. And then they want to follow you. And so if you have the energy, I recommend you starting a free group, and then you have links to it. So when you set your banner up and publish your banner, in the comments, invite people to the free group and have a link there. So for example, Hazel could have, her picture of her banner, and then join my free group, Hazel Moore Online. And then people could click on her profile picture. You could even have a click here on your profile picture and invite them to the free group. Then the point I'm trying to make, then we want to look at your past experience. So if you want to do network marketing for Cash FX full time, you don't want to have huge past experience. You just want to have what's relevant. So you want to have like your job, and you can have your job being a link to your free Facebook group. So, Amanda works at Amanda G. Beaver Coaching. I haven't actually updated this. They press on that, and that could be a link to a domain that cost me $10 that goes then directly to the Facebook group. Or it could be the link to the Facebook group. Or it could be a link to a page that then goes to a Facebook group. So you're trying to drive the traffic into the Facebook group where you're going to give even more value. And then when you're looking at all those things you've done, just pick three. Pick three of, you know, 3 jobs you do. You could have, you know, or you could have something really clever. You know, you don't have to say I was a nurse and a waitress and a babysitter and a corporate flyer and an air hostess. You know, my old profile went like on and on and on and on and on. Remember, you want to be relatable to your tribe. So look at, you know, your past experience. You don't need to write down every school you went to. You know, if you've done something that's relevant for this, though, that makes you look like a leader, you could say you went to, you know, the Cash FX Training Academy, or you could say you've been to a coaching academy or something like that. But you don't want, people don't need to see all this stuff. And if you start looking at the people that are doing really well in this field, you'll notice that then they're not coming from this place of not enoughness, trying to justify themselves using every job they've ever done. Okay, so keep that area of the About You section nice and clear and concise. Then if you want to invite people to a Facebook group, in that Facebook group, make sure that you're doing call to actions. So you're always inviting people. So every time you have a chat with someone, you're like, hey, Kim, it's really nice to meet you. I see that you're into trading and Forex, me too. I actually, and then you let them write back. Don't just shove your products down their face. Have a bit of a chat back and forth. Hey, by the way, Kim, I've actually got this group called High Performance Coaching for Forex Traders. I don't actually have a group called that. I'm making it up, but would you like to join? And then she joins the group and you give even more value in the group, right? And it could be more tailored to Forex and Cash FX as well. When people come into the group, you want to make it really user-friendly. So having a welcome video is a really good idea. Hi, I'm Amanda. I'm a network marketer and and I do online trading with Cash FX. This group's been designed to help you understand more about money, more about crypto, more about Forex trading, and more about how you can live a life of freedom and quit the 9 to 5 or whatever it is you're trying to say. And then you want to do a written thing as well. So then every new person that comes to the group, welcome them to the group, just like Hazel's doing. And then also point them in the direction of the video. So tag them under your welcome video. So you're setting it up like a pro. Because you always want to have somewhere to invite people to. And in the old days of network marketing, it was Tupperware parties at your house. Thank God we don't have to do that anymore. You can just invite them to your free group where you give them even more value. And as an example, so some of you may have seen the interview I did with Hazel. If you haven't watched it, because she's amazing in it. And I think I'm actually quite good at asking good questions. So, but that video, I wouldn't put it on my main profile, right? Like I wouldn't put that on my main profile page because we were talking about some, you know, quite a lot of stuff about Cash FX that was quite personal and stuff that maybe shouldn't be shared with the whole world. So that was a group that was a video that Hazel and I made to share in my private group and her private group, which is how you guys get to see it. Does that make sense? So you can add a bit more value in there. So always have somewhere invite people to and qualify them. Go for quality rather than quantity. So you don't, I'm really sorry, I don't want to sound like racist or weird and just forgive me if I do, but I started this kind of marketing 3 years ago, and in those days we used pages more. Only use pages if you're going to start running ads. Facebook's all about, and LinkedIn do groups, and in Instagram you can do groups by having a private profile and invite people there as well. Have one group on just one group, like whatever platform you use. Think about who are my niche, who are the people that I want to hang out with, and where do they hide? Are they Facebookers, LinkedIn's, or Instagrams? And then focus your group on that platform. If you've got 3 groups, you'll go batty, trying to service them all and keep up with them all. So then you're always inviting people to your free group, and in the free group, you give more value, you welcome people, you make them feel special, and you want them to be interactive. And you want people that are going to interact. You don't just want 1,000 people. So when I first started this business, you could actually pay to get people to join your Facebook page. As I said, page is different than a group. Page is more for businesses that you're spending money to get the page out there and boosting it. I wouldn't worry about that. We can talk about that another time when everyone gets more into this. Well, I know CashFX is building those funnels anyway. So with so in those days we used to boost and get people to join our groups, and you could spend $7 and get like 1,000 Filipinos and Nigerians and Indians. But then the problem is if you do a Facebook Live in the group or even in your profile, Facebook thinks they're your target market and sends all that and your info there and positions you there. This is why the more we think about who we want to work with and those type of people, we accept them into our group, because Facebook's going to reward us for that by putting us in front of more people like that, okay? Because you want to use Facebook and the algorithms to make it work for you. So the next thing is let's talk about some daily methods of operation. So daily methods of operation, we have to do some housework. If we want to work on social media, a lot of people think, I'm just looking for my notes on this, that we can just join and have it all delivered on a silver platter. You've got to do a little bit of work for it. And the more clear you are on it and who you want to work with, the easier it gets. So daily methods of operation, you don't even have to post every day. 3 times a week is actually enough, especially if you're just getting started. But we want to have a little bit of a strategy behind these posts, right? So now I'm going to talk about the 3 best posts there are to do. So the ones that get the most clicks and likes are role model posts. So I like doing role model posts on Sundays, and that is like, here's a selfie of me and my husband and my dogs walking in the forest. Or here's me teaching my goddaughter how to surf. They're showing that you're a human, you're not trying to sell anything, or here's me working in the soup kitchen. Role model posts convert the best, and they're a great way to see how your audience works, right? And that it's a really good time to do it on Sunday. I also like to play around and see who's online when. I work with entrepreneurs like you guys, and I find a role model post goes really well at 6 o'clock on a Sunday night. That's going to change depending on you. And remember, like if you're in Australia but your clients are in Europe, then you might need to put it at 6 o'clock European time, not Australian time. So get to know your market. Keep asking yourself, who are they? Where are they hiding? And what time are they online? And what do they like? What do they want to see? The next thing is a milestone post. Milestone posts I'd like to do on Tuesdays. And these are really good at showing people your growth and where you're going and your vulnerability. So this could be a really good time for, like Maggie's brand new at this. Like if you wanted to do, no pressure to do Facebook Lives, never do anything you're not comfortable with. But if you wanted to be like, oh my God, like I'm just about to do my first Facebook Live talking about my new business, I'm so nervous, that's a milestone post. Another milestone post is like, I've just created my first ever Facebook group to give people more value on how to work online or how to become a trader or how to quit the 9 to 5. I'm pretty nervous, but does anyone want to join it? And then you say the 3 problems you're going to solve in that group. I'm going to show you how to get more leads, how to quit the 9 to 5, and how to make more sales or something like that. Generally, people want more leads, more sales, more clients, or more bigger teams. But you can think about, or they want to solve their pains, quit the 9 to 5, have more time with their family, and more personal freedom. And people used to want to be able to travel, but obviously we don't sell travel so much anymore because you just look like fake or like you're a bit unrealistic. So that's your milestone post, and share vulnerabilities in there as well every now and then. Like, I was so scared to say I was a network marketer because I used to think network marketers were pushy and needy because my mum did Amway and I was always really against it. But now I found this amazing product and it's completely changed my life, and I'm with this amazing community and I'm really loving it. And this is the first time I'm talking about it, and I'm really proud and slightly nervous, and everyone will be like, oh my God, that's amazing, da, 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 da. You know, so in these 2 posts, in role model posts and milestone posts, you're not doing a call to action. You're not trying to sell them anything. You're not trying to even get them in your group. You're just trying to show that you're a great human with a big heart, and that you really want to help the world, or you have this big vision. Then on Thursdays, there's a couple of different versions I'll do, but I'll normally do a problem-solving post. So problem-solving post being, I will say, do you want a hand quitting the 9 to 5? This is what I did. Would you like to find more financial freedom? Would you like to be able to pay for your kids to go to the best university or college? Would you like to find out how I made 100 leads in 10 days? Would you like to know how I got to be the top rank of my company in less than a year? So this is where you really want to get to know your market. And so what I'm saying to people all the time are, what are your problems? What are your challenges? And I'm always writing them down and putting them in my book of challenges, problems, and misconceptions, because this is where you're going to get your content. And you're answering the problems that are relevant to your niche. So how can I help people like Kim get even more success? You know, how can I help people like Finn really quit the 9 to 5 once and for all, and really tuning in? So where people go really wrong in social media is so many of the network marketers and influencers and coaches like myself are going, me. I think this, rant, me. Here am I earning all this money, and it's normally bullshit. You know, you want to be really authentic and you want to come from a place of service and be like, how can I help these people? And then when you do problem solving posts, you can do it as a written copy. You can do it as a live. You could do it as an invite even into your group. And then you do a call to action at the end. You don't always have to do a call to action at the end. I'll do at least one call to action a month, sometimes one call to action a week if I'm doing a big drive. So for more information, join my free group. We're probably gonna go for another 20 minutes. So I want to talk to you about some of the language and Facebook hacks we use at the end too, because Facebook's got aware of us doing some of these things. So we've got to be a little bit savvy to hack their algorithms. So Facebook loves you being social. It loves you solving problems. And it loves you taking people to groups. It just doesn't want you actually selling on Facebook, you know, and selling on Facebook for free, not using their pages and their Facebook ads. So, you know, today I'm doing, so you could do a live on your main profile, and lives go really well when we're out in the open. So if you're using the same boring white wall with your face really big on the screen, this is another thing people do, and I find those lives really annoying when they're like this and you just see their big head. You know, lives work really well outside. I'll actually often try and do a live outside on a Sunday and on a walk. Yesterday, actually, last Sunday, I nearly decapitated myself because there was a vine and I walked straight into it, you know, trying to do the selfie. But so go somewhere safe where you're not going to hit your head on a bridge like I did the other day. That people like seeing different environments behind you. So keep that in mind. And now we're dealing with global markets. Your boring field or common or park may look really exciting to someone on the other side of the world as well. So that's a good way to do it. Plus, I find it really easy to walk and talk. I find it flows. So find your thing and try different things. And then at the end of it, you can always say, for more information like this, find my free group. Then another problem-solving post you could do is invite people to your group for a free challenge. You know, so you could say, hey everyone, next week I'm running a challenge, a 3-day challenge, showing you how to quit the 9 to 5 once and for all, or showing you how I made $500 last week online doing nothing, or how to get more leads, or how to write good copy. So now we're getting into the problem solving post. We're going to go full circle. Remember at the beginning of this session, I said, what are your main achievements? What are you good at? So what you want to weave into this business and your brand are your strengths. So what did you do in your past life that could help your teams and other members? You know, were you a writer? Were you a team leader? Were you an accountant? So what problems can you solve based on your whole life experience that you can bring in here? Does that make sense, everybody? This is the most important thing, because I'm all about the niche within the niche within the niche within the niche. So I was a trauma nurse. I ran groups teaching first aid all over the world. I got into social media. I got into network marketing. I started running online groups. I started getting really interested in groups of people and the language they use and how to lead in groups online. So I've gone from leading groups offline to leading groups online and now teaching people how to do it, right? And then there's another thing is that there's a lot of people that can say coach or network market, but they're not always good teachers. So if you can teach it, you can do it. So I want you to write down 3 things. Notice how most of you have probably never seen me before in Cash FX, except Kim, because we've met through Hazel. And suddenly I pop up and say, I'm running this training. What could you do to give back to Hazel Moore Online? What could you do to give back to someone else's team? Not thinking, how can I make more money? Or how could you position you're an expert? What training could you give? What past experience have you got that you could contribute? Because this is an abundance mindset. And when you position yourself as a leader, things are going to flow. And I've been in a few network marketing things, and the people I see, people that go straight to the top, this is what they do. They go in with a leader's mindset and they're like, how can I serve? How can I show up? And you all have something to give. You all have something amazing to give.
Oh, and then we're going to get all those people signed up and it's going to be amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, you mute me.
Oh, I don't know if that was for us. Anyway, so who's got a problem that they didn't realize they could solve? Who's got something that they've brought from their past life experience, something really small? Remember, you only need to be 2 steps ahead of your tribe to stand up as a leader. What could you share in your tribe or in someone's tribe to position yourself as an expert? What could you teach? Finn, I'm going to pick on you. What would you teach everyone?
My head's getting popped. So I've got a course on camera confidence, so I can help people get online on the camera overcome their fears and present themselves.
That is awesome. What a
And as a coach, I've got mindset techniques that can really help them, you know, sort of overcome those limiting beliefs, and simple strategies. Yeah, so they show up with more authenticity and greater confidence.
So there's a great thing. So every problem solving post, Finn's like, okay, so what were the main mindset things I needed to learn when I was a beginner? What does my perfect client, I give them a name, I get to know my perfect client, my niche, better than my best friends. I know them better than they know themselves. I know their secret desires. I know what keeps them awake at night. I know that the stuff that they won't even tell their husband or wife, you know, and then I talk to that. So what problems can you solve? Anyone else got a problem they could solve? Someone must. Come on.
For myself, when I used to be a flight attendant years ago, and I used to have this, when I was studying as well, I used to have this awful fear of public speaking, but not necessarily in big groups, but just in front of even small groups. So when I was in university, I didn't want to go to tutorials, etc. So when I started flying, I thought to myself, this is really slowing me down. This is really stopping me from moving forward. So what I actually decided to do was to become a trainer, to train cabin crew. And that was it made me feel ill thinking about it, you know, when I was going forward to it. But I did, and I pushed myself forward and I presented in front of people. I found a way of getting rid of my initial nerves when I was standing in front of people. And then I became a trainer for about 7 years at British Airways. So I would never have thought I'd be able to do that. By the way, I was thinking sort of years before that and leading up to it, you know, but I knew I had to overcome this obstacle that was slowing me down. So that's something probably I could share with people.
That would be such a wonderful story. And remember, people are buying stories.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're not actually buying the product. Most people will buy in. I would not have joined CashFX if it wasn't for Hazel. I know, like, and trust her, and that's why I joined. And that's how I enroll, you know, my team, because I'm like, I know this woman, she's really cool. She's crystal clear. Here's a video of us, you know, so this is something, a really great thing you could start talking about, you know. Thanks, Dan. And share and think of and talk about how nervous you were in those days and how you overcome it. And what works really well too is having like a metaphor, you know. So think about, and that's why I like writing the love letter to the perfect client with a metaphor. So you could be like, it reminds me of when, you know, I was thinking the other day of when I was a flight attendant and I had no confidence and I didn't know how to lead teams. And so then I did this, and that reminds, you know, bring it forward, you know, 20 years. And now I've got a team of 140 people and rah-de-rah-de-rah, you know, and people love stuff like this. By the way, I was a flight nurse for Helix and Mondial, and I think I remember you from BA. I flew.
No.
I'm trying to work out where I know you from, and the other
Really?
was like,
No, I was never afraid of leading because I was in charge, but it was just standing up and sort of teaching. I was okay with that for some reason. So it was just the thing about standing up and presenting to people, I think I shied away from.
We all do. I never forget when I first did that. And I was speaking, I was medical support for a huge super yacht regatta at the America's Cup. And I stood up and I could see Richard Branson and Donatella Versace with the lips like this, which that was the thing that threw me, actually. I just, and I was like, a first aid kit, and if you've got any problems, call me, Celia. And I ran, and everyone was like, because I'm normally like this, you know, socially, and they were like, what happened to you? Like, what was that? And I was like, I don't know. I like literally actually think I peed my pants. I'd never been incontinent in my life, and it was all going on. And now I get to do this, and I do it really confidently. So we've got to remember, like, how to show people our vulnerabilities and show people our stories, and how to bring this out in people too, you know, because it's one thing to lead a small team. It's completely different to stand up on stage, you know. So yeah, that's a great thing you can solve, and great problems go into those memories, you know, like you will often see me talking about my nursing days and things I've learned and how I apply it to life these days. So think of, you know, combine your stories and start sharing your stories more and more. Then what you also want to do with those posts, so there's 3 posts a week we can do. If you want to throw in some other posts, you could do a testimonial. You don't even have to have people's names. So if someone wrote to you and went, oh my God, Kim, like I just made $500. I just checked my CashFX account. There was $500 there and I literally did nothing. You could screenshot that and take their name out and post it. People love seeing testimonials. They won't get as many likes. So your problem solving posts and call to actions and testimonials won't get as many likes as the milestones and the role models, but that's okay. And that's why we'll deliberately put a call to action post after a high converting post like a milestone or a role model, when we're not asking anyone to buy anything, we're just sharing. And then we do our call to action post 2 days later, because Facebook uses an algorithm. It's a computer, it's not a person, and it wants to see the social interaction. So how do we build up our interaction? Why do you see me with like 50 to 100 comments every time I post? I'm a hacker. I hack the internet. So the best thing we can all do, if you don't have it already, is it is no accident. And I'm not really clever and popular. We're using it. So I have a group with my clients, and every time we post, it's a messenger group, and we put our post in there. And so I'll go into Messenger and see my business school inner circle and say, Finn's done a post. I'll click on that. And then I will say, hey, that's a great post. Because if we can get 4 comments in the first 20 minutes, Facebook's going to be like, ooh, people like this post, and they're going to put it in front of everyone. And so it'll start being seen more. This is why knowing what time people are online, who your audience are and where they're hiding on what social media and what time they're online is really good, because the more posts we can get in that first 20 minutes of getting that post up, the more people will like it. And you want to go back and comment on those posts within the first 20 minutes. So Finn puts out a post, I say, great post. Kim says, great post. Yvonne says, great post. Finn comes in and says, thanks, thanks, thanks. Facebook's going to see that. It wants interaction. And then it's going to put it in front of more eyeballs. Plus, it's going to put Finn's profile as a suggested friend in front of more people like us. Because Facebook's seeing people like us, like his post, and go, all these people all like hanging out together. Let's find more to build their community. So another thing you do, and the reason I only post 3 times a week, is you try and get people commenting on your post. Never go through and comment on every single one. If you follow, watch me for a week if you want and see what I do. You'll always see I leave the last, even if I've seen the last few comments, I'll leave them empty. And I'll come back the next day and answer, thanks for loving my post, Finn, because that restarts the algorithm again and more people will see it. Or if I actually have a Filipino VA who's amazing, Chris, if anyone wants the details, I pay her $5 an hour to do this stuff for me. However, if she has written comments on every single person that's commented on my post, and I wake up the next day, I can milk the post. So I can delete that answer I wrote to Finn and then rewrite it, and Facebook's not that smart yet, and it'll get everything going again. This is how we milk posts. Now we have to use the law of attraction. We've got to give back. So someone comments on your post, go on their page and comment on their post. If someone likes your post and doesn't comment, go on their profile and like their post and comment on their post, and always love their posts as well as liking their comments or loving their comments. Sometimes we just write comments and we don't like or love it. Facebook algorithm does work with thumbs up and love hearts. So the more love hearts you throw around, the more you're going to get back. So you've got to give what you take. Then also go So, you know, go onto your profile and for 20 minutes a day, give the love, share the love, go into people, support each other and go and comment on each other's posts. Go, you know, have a list of 30 people that you would love to have on your team and go and write on their posts, because if Facebook sees you commenting on their posts, it'll put your post around their friends, or their friends might go, oh, Maggie just wrote something really intelligent on Amanda's post. I'm going to see who she is. And they might start up their conversation. Plus, go write personally to every person that commented on your post and say, thanks for commenting on my post. I really appreciate it. What else would you like to know? Would you like to join my free group? What problems do you have? What challenges? How can I help you? And you'll get more content ideas. What else can I tell you about Facebook hacks? Another really important thing is never put a comment in the post. So don't put, you know, a problem-solving post and then for more information, click on the link below. Don't put that in the actual post because Facebook doesn't like it. Facebook hates you leaving Facebook. So never send them off to YouTube or your blog or someone else's blog or even a page in Facebook. Facebook wants you to keep people there. So you can then craftily say in deets below in comments, link below in comment. If you say link below in comments, Facebook 3 weeks ago cottoned on to all of us savvy Facebook hackers and realized we were all doing that. So now if you say comment in link or in comments below, it'll hide your posts away. So you've got to say that in a cool way, like, you know, deets below, or I don't know, something millennial, or using that language that your clients and team members will understand. If it's too millennial, they probably won't even know what you're talking about. So remember, you know, language is everything as well. So a great thing to do is, we call it friend farm. Friend farm every day. So don't do too many though, just do up to 20. And the best place to friend farm is other paid groups. Now this might sound a bit dodgy. Don't do it in Hazel's group because we don't need to leave that group. But if you were in Isogenics, another network marketing company, or Kanga Mortar in the past, and you know those people were paid to play, you know, some of us were in HempWorks before, you know, you paid, like I spent about $800 to buy my HempWorks package. Most people in that group did. So I could go in there and just make friends with the people in that group. If I went to a Tony Robbins event, like there was an Unleash Your something on recently that was $5,000 to join. So everyone in my coaching inner circle that I get coached from, they're all huge Tony Robbins fans, they went to there. And so, you know, you can go in that group because you have to pay $5,000 to go to his event. So if you're in a group that you paid to be in, you know those people are abundant. You know that they are willing to spend the money, because there's nothing worse than getting people's money stories and their scarcity and I can't afford it. Yeah, we want to build wealth, but, you know, and we want to help the people that can't afford it. But when we're building our team, it's good to build it with an abundant mindset. Then when we've got the money going in, we can go and help the people that need the help. You know, I really want to gift someone a package every month and, you know, say, join, here you go, here's a present. But I'm not going to go looking for those people and trying to force them to spend $300 on an entry-level product when I could go play with my cool friends, you know, that are used to spending money and are used to this sort of business, and they'll buy a $5,000 product, and with the commission I can then give that to someone that doesn't have the money. So you want a friend farm. Now, when you're friend farming, what happens is not everyone will accept your friend request. And so go into Facebook and it'll say friends requested. You'll have to click on that bit and have a bit of a look around, but it'll say friends, and then there'll be a thing saying friends requested, meaning the friends requested by you. Click on that and open it up, delete it all once a week or once a month. You want to just delete it all, because if you look like you're constantly friend requesting and people aren't taking you up on that friendship offer, Facebook's going to think that you're a marketer and you'll be closer to going to Facebook jail. So this is all about avoiding Facebook jail, because when we market heavily, we can end up in Facebook jail. So these are the reasons how you stay out of it. The next thing is you want to, if you've got you want to have a list that's about 4,500 people, but you want an active list. So if Jane Smith that you went to kindergarten with isn't commenting and liking on your posts, and you just feel that you should have her as a friend, delete her. If you're serious about marketing, go into your friends list on your computer, and then not on your phone, it does it in alphabetical order, but on your computer, it'll have the least active friends at the very bottom of your list. Delete up to 30 a day, depending on how many friends you've got. Maybe you just want to delete 1 or 2. If you're like me and you've got 4,500 friends, I'm getting my VA, or I'm deleting about 20 or 30 a day. Do not buy those software programs that show you who's using your profile. They're Chrome based. If Facebook's computer sees you're using those hacking programs to see who's using your profile and who's active, they'll shut you down. I've got so many friends that have gone there. There was one called Friend Family or Facebook. I can't remember. They don't work. They do work really well, but Facebook doesn't like you using them. So go in and delete a few people a day that aren't interacting as well. So know your niche, know who you want to work with, think about what they like, what colours they like, what photos they like, what sports and hobbies you do that they like, what stories they like. Think about the 3 top problems you want to solve, and just be repetitive. You've got to be so repetitive on social media, because people have really small brains and they're dumbed down when they get on there. Write posts about the things that your target market are going to want to be interested in and problems they're going to want to solve, and invite them to your private group where you give even more value, and you can replicate the same content plan on your personal group. A great thing to do in your personal group that I'm going to be doing later today is a free question and answer. So another thing you could do is write on your public profile, "Hi everyone, I'm doing a question and answer about how I make money online in an hour in my private group. See the link below in comments," or deets below in comments, I'd write. Then people will come into your group, and if no one turns up on that Facebook Live, just have a list of questions that you know that they would have, and answer them. Make it up. Just sit there and talk, and with a strategy to answer their questions and answer their misconceptions. Invite 20 like-minded people a day to be your friends on Facebook. When they accept your friend request, don't go straight in and start chat sequencing them, because Facebook will think you're stalking them for marketing. Wait for them to comment on your post, then you can have a chat with them and start having a conversation with them. I'll answer a couple of questions in the next minute. If you don't have a Cash FX group, just start doing it for yourself. Yeah, make up your own group, and when you have, and just keep putting content in there to get practice of being a leader and get confident in it. And then when you have 5 or 10 members, you can invite them into your own group. Until you've got 5 or 10 members in your team, use Hazel's group, but you can still be showing up and practicing. Or you can invite each other to your own groups and start sharing the love and encouraging each other. So you start getting used to owning that presence. Okay, so know your niche, know who you're targeting, know your vision, know the problems you want to solve, tidy up your Facebook, have a great profile photo, have a cool banner, you can make it for free on Canva, have a really sexy bio saying I am, I help entrepreneurs make money online, or whatever you do, something really simple, and then tidy up your past experience. And if you want to have a group, then have leads to the group in different ways. Have a content strategy and stick to it. It keeps things really simple, and always be tuning into your target audience and your niche, or the clients you want to bring in, your soul tribe that you want to have on your team at CashFX, and be asking yourself, how can I serve them? What do they want to hear? What language are they speaking? And what do they need to know? And what misconceptions do they have about my business that I can answer? And just come from a place of service. Don't send people away from Facebook or any other social media platform you're using. And don't put links in posts. And just come from your heart and soul, you know? Come from your heart and soul. So yeah, that's it. I'm all done now. So what I'd like to offer you guys is, I'm actually really into this and I love it, and I'm doing a free 10-day course on this, where I won't be quite so yelly and shouting. We're going to have a day of lecture that'll go for about, I'm not sure, about an hour, and then homework. So I'm going to guide you through this process in a lot of clarity, in a really simple step-by-step process, and show you how to position yourself online, how to set up a group, how to get 10 leads and 1 client in 10 days. And that's going to start, I'm going to start advertising it to the public as well on Monday. And it'll start the Monday after that. I don't even know what the date is, but I guess it'd be about the 16th of October. So I'd love to invite you and your teams to join me in this. It'll be amazing. Just send me a private message and I'll send you the link for that. It's going to be in a private Facebook group, and I'll send you guys the video of this if you want to share it with your teams. Feel free to share all the information I'm giving you with your teams, and own it. Own your zone of genius, and own this amazing opportunity, and own this incredible gift you've got to give to the world. And don't be scared to show up. You know, do whatever you got to do. Like, read your vision, have an I am statement. I am fun, I am powerful, I am leading 100 people in this amazing tribe. Tune in to Hazel and the owners of CashFX's big vision. You know, they're philanthropists, they have big visions. And even do a dance, put music on, get yourself in that state, because remember, people are buying your frequency as well. They're buying your clarity. And most of all, have fun with it. Really have fun with it. So I'm so honoured to have so many of you on this call. I hope it's been valuable, and I really look forward to watching your success and watching you grow as leaders. And please, if you've got any questions, DM me. And yeah, I look forward to your growth. I hope it's helped. Fantastic.
Thank you. Thank you.